true free market capitalist sees business competition as the lifeblood of prosperity, an open arena where innovation, efficiency, and consumer choice determines success, and where no firm is shielded from failure by political favors. In contrast, a corporatist capitalist often embraces the language of markets while seeking protection from them, using regulations, subsidies, and influence to limit rivals, secure advantages, and socialize risk while privatizing reward and preventing other people's success. To the free market capitalist, competition disciplines power. To the corporatist, it's something to be managed, shaped, and avoided through proximity to government rather than excellence in the marketplace. This is a new issue for 2026 of Tripp Has Issues, and boy, do I have an issue with this one. And joining me, and will be joining me in the future, if I can get his pants on every week, is my good friend, Graham Dickinson. How are you doing, Graham?
Doing well.
Yeah.
Except for the pants part, I'm okay with that because I don't have any pants on right now, so you're right about that.
That's right. He's not in studio, so he's pantless. He's Donald Ducking. He's Donald Ducking it for this episode.
It's a beautiful thing. But even if I was in the studio, I probably wouldn't still have pants on. Well,
that's true. Teresa would like that. Anyway, bringing it to this episode, and the reason why I'm ranting on this today is I had to laugh. I had a good friend of mine, and I still consider him a good friend, but he had to let me go from joining him with a project that we were doing. And what was so funny is that when we met, the circumstances were, obvious. I was building a studio and helping out a friend in her place and everything else. And then we got to talking when I met him, and then we got into a project. And then later on, he just said, "You know what? You built a studio. You are. I'm going to have to see you as competition. Until you're not competition, I don't think we can work together anymore." I was like, "Huh?" But I love him to death. But if I was in his position, I don't think I would be the same way, because I love competition. I always have. When I grew up in a very, very small rural town, we had two snowmobile shops, two snowmobiles, dealerships, and one was a Skidoo dealership, and my uncle had the Evinrude dealership, and they, it was a friendly competition. They used to have, Evinrude sucks and, Skidoo sucks and blah, blah, blah. And they go back and forth on that. And the people who purchased them, of course, would take the sides of whatever they had. And it was almost like the Ford Chevy, racing competition that they have for NASCAR and things like that. And if you know the people, nobody hates each other. They don't really see each other as terrible, and they don't want that competition gone. As a matter of fact, they had to even bring in Toyota later on for NASCAR. So, yeah. I mean, NASCAR's, red, white, and blue, and then the rising sun, I guess. But the
rising sun. The
Toyota. I just, even when we worked with your dad, we never saw any of the other shops as competition. They must be closed down. We would just, hey, they're doing such and such. Oh, I wonder if we can do it. I bet you we could do it better, blah, 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 They're getting really successful with X, Y, and Z, but they're doing it a little bit differently. They're using different equipment and, so on and so forth. And we pointed out to our customers and so on. We never thought of it as they're the competition. I have to hate them. We'll never work with them. Because most of the people we would end up working side by side with them when, an event would come in town or something like that. And most of the people we worked with, like doing sound or doing recording, operating cameras and stuff, they worked for everybody. And we wouldn't say, hey, you can't work for Encore because you did work for Stages or something like that.
Well, as a matter of fact, it was the opposite. Stages, and I actually did try to go against my father at Encore Video Productions.
And again, and your dad and I always
did try to do that.
Yeah, I mean,
but it wasn't that my father tried to go against them. It wasn't a whole, this whole process of where we have to snuff out the competition. The competition arises from the yeast. If you're good, you're going to rise up. There's people who are going to call you, and that's what my dad did. I don't know how he did it, but that's what he did.
He and I were definitely both free market capitalists. We thought, the more the merrier. It would always say, okay, this will highlight what we do best. And the running around and talking ill about the competition behind their back and stuff it just seemed ridiculous, and it does seem ridiculous.
It was goofy, and I remember talking to my father about this, and it was he would shut me down sometimes because I used to be upset about it. I was like, when my dad went to Africa for Ghana TV, Prince Kwame. There was a guy named, I don't know if I should say this on the cast, but there was a guy named Jack Murphy, who had a television show who made fun of my dad when he got back when the Ebola virus hit, saying that, he was pretending to me about dad, Ebola's going to come here.
Yeah.
My dad didn't care about it. I cared about it because I was a young kid, and I was like, man, this guy's making fun of you. He didn't care. It like I said, the best rise to the top. No matter what you're doing, if you're doing something well, you don't have to patronize someone else if they're doing something that they want to do. It's totally fine.
And the other thing too is that the old adage that there's no if they're not talking about you, then you're not doing it well. Because it's like free advertising.
And my dad always used to say, he says, I don't care about you. I don't care about what you say about me. Just spell my name right.
Yep, exactly.
I always remembered that.
Yeah.
Like, whatever you want to say, just get the name right, even if it's bad.
Exactly.
Even if it's bad, Brett.
Exactly. And that was always the best attitude to have. And that's again the free market kind of Austrian economic embracing. If you've got a criticism of me and I think it's valid, then I have something I can work on.
Now, with you being a libertarian, you're talking about Austrian.
Yeah.
With these economic, what's his name? Can't remember his name.
Which Hayek? Or?
Not Hayek. The Austrian economic the guy.
Well, we've got Mises.
Mises isn't right. It was, I can't remember his name. But when you talk about these kind of things as far as economics, those are two different things, and we can talk about that if you want to go into that now.
We can.
We can talk about the economic world when it comes to Republicans and conservatives versus libertarians. I didn't know if you wanted to go into that.
We can.
As far as I understood, this was just kind of do whatever we want and talk about whatever we want.
Like I said, I'm not gonna regulate you. I'm not gonna restrict you from what you. If it comes naturally, if you got something to say on it, yeah, absolutely, share it.
No, you're pissing me off right now. You're pissing me off because I'm trying to talk about something and you're pissing me off.
How dare you not tell me what to do? Yeah.
Why can't I tell you what to do on your own podcast?
We could go ahead. I'm used to it. I was married for years.
All right. Go ahead with what you were saying. I didn't mean to interrupt.
Oh no. I was just saying that.
Well, I think it would lead to Myrtle Beach politics. Can we talk about Myrtle Beach politics?
We can. I'm sure even people across the country could associate what's going on in their small towns along with
Right.
Dirty Myrtle. Yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So go ahead with what you were saying.
You were saying about Myrtle Beach. You wanted if we could introduce something about Myrtle Beach. I said, yeah, absolutely.
But you were saying something about politics, and I was saying, can we introduce Myrtle Beach into that as well?
Oh, yeah. I was just going to say
Not
it's
politics, but finance. Sorry.
well, yeah,
Not,
economics and so on in general.
correct.
It's
Yeah.
the what I was saying is that even there are some libertarians that when you talk to them end up being corporatist capitalists instead of free market capitalists, and they're free market as long as it doesn't affect their business. It's
Right.
like, wait a minute.
Oh, that's what it was with conservatives. Yeah, exactly.
Well, yeah,
And
conservatives. I mean, this crosses all party lines. I think it's philosophical and a lot of personality that goes into it too.
Mm-hmm.
If you are insecure in yourself and you're insecure in your business, then you definitely will glom on to corporate capitalism.
Right.
Yeah, I need regulations to stomp out the competition, and I will say it's for the safety of the consumer, because what they're doing is unsafe, and what I do is safe. What they're doing is unfair, and what I'm doing is fair. So, yeah, it's always tilting the tables in your favor.
It just gets to be goofy. I don't know. I'm thinking that as a conservative, I'm trying to lean toward the old conservatism, but the problem is with old conservatism is that comes under big tent, GOP.
Yeah.
Which we aren't all GOP, big tent, especially with Donald Trump.
Oh yeah, you're right.
How can we do that? Because I don't agree with everything he says.
No. And I mean,
But there's
and even Donald Trump has a lot of corporatism in his ideology. And
correct.
And it's Rand Paul, Massey. They've come out and said hey, investing in these chip manufacturers. Why is the government doing that? Let the chip manufacturers get their own funding. So.
And the problem, like with the Chip Act, the problem is with these chips being manufactured in Singapore. We have to worry about that because we've got to be able to be on good terms with Singapore, and that's the whole thing about. I guess I'm changing the whole topic of the subject.
No, it still goes into it. Yeah, this is still government controlling the economy.
Correct. At some point, we have to be nationalist. We can't let it, like with the Chip Act with Singapore, what Biden did.
Uh-huh.
We can't rely on those people to give us what we need as far as our technology and what's going into our iPhones and all this stuff. Otherwise, we're going to rely on them.
Exactly.
Now, my thing is, if you need something to rely on, then you're going to have to be peaceful with those people, no matter what they do.
Yeah, you're right.
Why wouldn't we transfer that technology into our own country? And Biden didn't understand that. Which I think that Trump kind of does, but he's also a little bit.
I don't think Biden understood a lot of things.
No, it's true. He didn't understand who his own wife was.
No, refer to her as Dr. his own wife.
Yeah, she's a doctor somehow.
Yes. But then again, there are a lot of these politicians. I mean, for the best way to put it is bought and paid for by these corporatists through lobbyists and special interests, contributions to their election funds and so on and so forth.
And what you just said was one of the biggest things. I think that lobbyists need to go away. We as long as they're around, we're not going to have an actual I hate to say democracy because we're not a democracy. We're a constitutional republic.
Exactly.
But as long as the lobbyists are around, we're not going to have any semblance
Right.
of any. I mean, you look at what's her old face, Nancy Pelosi.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that woman was able to buy and sell stocks whenever she wanted to.
Oh, no.
And
That was
no
her
one else could
husband.
see it. Yeah,
She had nothing to do with it. He had the crystal
she had
ball.
nothing to do with it because there was. You mean the guy in the underwear
Yeah.
who had a guy
There's nothing to see here. What do you
hitting him
mean?
with a baseball bat, and
That's
he
right.
said, "No, let him go. He's fine."
How dare you? Just bring that.
Yeah, Chuck is totally. We should all, understand how Chuck's not processed.
Well, I mean, even now today.
But Go ahead.
Well, I was going to say, even now today, we've got so many of these false things that are out there, like leering centers that are getting tons of money from the government, and again, it's under these programs that are started from these corporatist programs. But in getting back to what we're talking about with getting rid of lobbying, I think we should have a new type of lobbying where they cannot lobby people directly. They have to lobby groups through a portal where they have to go sit down and then state their position, and then people can go, and anybody, the politicians and everybody else can go and hear them out on whatever legislation they think is influential or not influential for their businesses, and how it's going to affect them in the American economy. But I don't like the idea. I don't like the idea of them being able to sit down with somebody across from the table and pay them off with behind closed doors, because some of these lobbyists may be lobbying with an absolutely legitimate concern, like, hey, I'm involved in the oil industry, and you may not understand this, but this legislation is going to affect our business in a negative way, and it's going to affect our country in a negative way, and here's our position on that. They should be able to get that across, but they shouldn't be able to do that in closed doors.
What you just said is called voting by the American people, where the people we put into office are, if we put them in office and they're saying something that we agree with, that's called voting.
Well, yeah,
not
but
lobbying on a lower level. That's called voting.
Well, I can see where you're saying that, but what I'm saying is that legislative session is in. We've already voted these people in.
While these people are,
and they're considering laws and so on. Somebody's made a proposal, and these people want. You've got interest groups and companies and so on, and they want to get their concerns.
Right.
Instead of buying the concerns or doing it behind closed doors, I'd like it to be so it's more transparent and that there is some distance between the people. Yeah.
Yeah,
because
while they're in office.
Exactly.
I get what you're saying.
Yeah, because I think originally that's what the lobbying was for. It was to just get their concerns across. But now it's gotten to be the payola system, like the old radio days. Yeah. To get their music up.
Do what we want. Don't let anybody hear this.
True. But I mean, I don't know. What do the listeners think? I just want listeners to know that they can go to libertycrackmedia.com or just even respond directly to our podcast itself and give us some feedback. Let us know how you feel. Maybe we're wrong. I doubt it, but maybe we are. So. And
it's always a possibility.
It's always a possibility. It depends on how many pints into the day we're in. So, but anyway, I think I've exhausted this topic a little bit. Do you have any more to bring in on this?
Well, if you wanted to talk about Myrtle Beach politics,
Okay.
if you wanted to go into that, that's fine.
Yeah.
But it's
Why don't you bring something up on that?
I don't know. Can I say this? I hate Brenda Bethune. I'm
Well,
so glad that she's gone. I think that Mark Crua, I'm not sure if any Myrtle Beach people are listening to this, but I think Mark Crua is going to be the same thing as Brenda Bethune.
and
I
to
don't
our other listeners,
like
these are mayors. This is an outgoing mayor and an incoming mayor. Brenda
correct.
is she is the wife of Brown Bethune, and they were both politically active. He more than she was until he decided that she was going to run, or vice versa. Anyway, but she's been in for 2 terms. Is that it, or is it longer than that?
I think it was no, she was 2.
2 terms, and then the people who what we call the cabal. Decided that they were tired of him, and so then they decided that they were going to run somebody against her this coming year, and they decided to grab the old communications officer from Myrtle Beach, Mark Crua, and run him as their finger puppet for I shouldn't say that. Mark is probably a fine person, and I haven't had a chance to really talk with him. Hopefully we will. But we just have our concerns. I mean, he had the same people that were pulling the strings of Myrtle Beach government for years in his office, and all of a sudden it seems like they're, and I might be wrong again, but it seems like they were the ones that mainly financed him for this latest run. And so it's just been kind of a continuation of John Rhodes to Brenda Bethune to Mark Crua with the same cast of characters pulling the strings behind them. That's
Correct.
That's the way that we've seen this. And when we're talking about corporatism, we have some major powers that have been involved here in Myrtle Beach and along the Grand Strand for generations and generations. And this is part of where we lovingly get involved with these people. I'm sure that our names are not said with much care from a lot of the people inside, but it's okay. We still love them the same. We hope for the best for them, but we hope the best for Myrtle Beach itself. And I hope that they can listen to our podcast with an open mind and prove us wrong. I mean, good Lord, if they're not being influenced by somebody, if they're not being influenced by the big money coming out of the what was the business Chamber of Commerce, excuse me, the Greater Myrtle Beach Chamber of Commerce, which is a huge...
And the Community Appearance Board.
Oh, the Community Appearance Board. That's exactly it. And again, for the listeners outside of the Myrtle Beach area, where the normal world would have like guidelines and written guidelines and laws and ordinances and setups for opening and operating a business and how it's going to look and appear so you could budget and plan to put things out. No, we have an arbitrary group of people called the Community Appearance Board that decides whether
volunteers.
You can... air quotes going on that. Volunteers with their hands out to decide whether you can have blinking lights arbitrarily or the color fuchsia on the outside of your building or a potted plant.
Or if you can just have, like, if you're let's say you're a boutique, they say that you can't have like your clothes outside of your store.
Yeah.
That's the Community Appearance Board. They say you can't do that. And that's what's happening in Myrtle Beach.
And just so people understand that Grant likes to put his clothes outside his place, but he's not a boutique.
Well, also my pants.
The pants, that's right. But I mean, it's just put an ordinance out. You know, it has guidelines for everybody. This is it's kind of bizarre. You know, you can't have tiny little blinking lights outside your lights, but we can have coma-inducing blinking giant Ferris wheels
Yeah, at Myrtle Beach. Yes.
Yeah, they can put you in
That's
the.
how Myrtle Beach used to think. And Mark Crua, I guess maybe he'll do the same thing where we'll find out at some point for
I
the people listening in Myrtle Beach.
absolutely,
It's,
absolutely.
we're going to find out, but it's still
As Brenda Bethune would
it's just
say
got to be.
after a hurricane, we hope for the best, but we pray for the worst.
That's exactly what we all pray for.
That's right. Thank you,
Because
Brenda.
our mayor said that once.
That's right.
She did say that once.
Major hurricane. She said it on national television.
Yeah.
One of my favorite quotes. Oh, it is fantastic.
What a goof. So let me, if we're going to change, I know we're going on 30 minutes. Most of your podcasts last about 45. Can I ask you something about religion?
Absolutely. Let me get into my religious my
What's the wrong religion? The wrong religion, Will.
What you got for me? What you got?
It's the wrong religion.
Of course it is. It's always the wrong religion. What you got? What you got?
Well, Will's it.
Step into the confessional.
What do you? Aren't you are you a Methodist or something?
No. I was. I come from a long line of Germans, so I am a Lutheran. And it's only I call myself a cultural Lutheran. I was raised as a Wisconsin Synod Lutheran, which is almost like, we were so conservative that I was not allowed to join the Boy Scouts of America.
Good.
Because they didn't pledge themselves specifically to the triune God.
Yeah. Can I ask you this?
Sure.
Okay. So Aristotle and Plato both thought that if God created something, it had to be made from something that was first down there. God had to create something from, I guess, a certain type of substance.
Materials.
And yeah. I've always dealt with that. I've always dealt with that myself. I was like, if God is so great, as we have to praise him, I always thought the same thing, that he had to create it from something of nothing. He had to create it from some form. It had to be where there was chaos. He had to create that chaos and put it into something. Yeah. That's what Aristotle and Plato. Now, St. Augustine comes in and he says, nope, that's not true. The Greeks are wrong. God created everything out of nothing. Which one do you agree with?
Well, I agree. I kind of agree with the idea of the Big Bang, where that
didn't answer my question.
Okay, well, I would have to agree with or disagree with Aristotle, and agree with the Augustine, because according to physics, even shows that in the beginning there was nothing. There wasn't even space until we had a bang, the Big Bang.
So you're saying that God created everything out of nothing?
I'm saying that, yeah. For it looks like scientifically, along with the religiously, that time, space, and energy and material emerged from an absolute bang. It all goes back to one specific spot. Yeah.
Okay, but that means that the bang was there before God, right?
I don't know. It's hard to say. If there's nothing, then there was nothing there. I don't know if the bang is God. I didn't ask
what you think. I asked what you believe. Do you think that something was created out of nothing, or there was form and God created that and made it into something?
I believe God is the bang, that there was nothing and then bang, creation and God.
Well, that's not true of Augustine or Jerome or
Right.
Aberrus or any. No one said that.
That's correct.
So how do you believe that if no one said that? People of antiquity, there's two thoughts of belief. Either it came from nothing or it came from something.
Well, I mean, I don't have to fall into the beliefs of predecessors and then be pigeonholed by it. Luckily,
Yes,
I've
you
got-
do. Because there's only two. There's only two things, Will.
There's only two parties. You have to be a Democrat or a Republican. They're
No,
the only
Will's
ones that are
making fun of me.
viable. No,
I'm on Will's podcast, Tripp's podcast, and he's making fun of me.
no. I'm making fun with you.
I'm getting really upset.
I mean,
I'm getting
that's my
really upset.
That's my personal belief, though. It really is. My personal belief is that there is my personal belief is that there was an event that was godlike. Whether he was there before the event
No,
or
I don't
not.
know. What do you mean godlike?
The ultimate creator.
Okay, how's that godlike?
How is being the ultimate creator godlike? Well, because I don't think God is someone who necessarily directs every moment of every individual's life. I do think that they're conscious of it, but I don't think they direct it.
So you're kind of Gnostic.
Yeah, I would say that that's a fair assessment if we had to put it into words. Yeah.
Get me off this podcast because I don't like talking to Gnostics.
I'm picking my nose too.
Let me get off this podcast.
Well, what are your thoughts?
My thought is that I always thought, and this is the reason I wrote this down, because I'm reading The History of Western Philosophy by Bertrand Russell, who was also an atheist.
Oh, an excellent.
I didn't
read,
realize that the Greeks thought that everything had to be created. There had to be something before God that he created.
Mm-hmm.
And he brought all these things that was total chaos. He brought them into a certain form.
Yeah.
And that's what I've always thought too, is like God can't be, and my thoughts were God can't be this miraculous thing that we all have to praise and do all this stuff. Is if he made something out of nothing, then that's not miraculous.
Uh-huh.
If he made something out of something, if he made chaos changed into order, that would be miraculous. There had to be something before God, and I didn't realize that that's what the Greeks thought as well. Aristotle and Plato.
And Aristotle is very what I call a tactile philosopher. He had to experience it. He had to sense it, to feel it, to see it, to experience it, to taste it, to smell it. Very tactile, very, very using of the senses in order to establish reality. And
you're right about that.
So there's not a lot of spirituality, I guess, in his philosophy. So you would have to have material. Yeah. Well, anyway, we're getting on to the later part of the podcast, and we're going to continue these types of conversations, and we will, I promise, get into more religion, philosophy, all kind of stuff, because you know what? Tripp has issues. So if you tune in next week, Graham will be with me in some form, shape, or other way I can annoy him, and we're going to have a lot more fun for our listeners. Graham, thank you so much, and we'll see you next week.
Well, the papers scream and the TV cries about every little thing under blue skies. They'll tell you what to eat, what to think, what to say. while taxing your paycheck every damn payday. Oh, Tripp has issues, but not like these. He just wants to sip his whiskey in peace, while they're building walls and burning flags. Tripp's just laughing and filling his flask. The talking heads on the nightly news act like we all gotta pick sides and choose, left or right, black or white, us or them. Tripp says, hell, I just don't give a damn. Oh, Tripp has issues, but not like these. He just wants to sip his whiskey in peace, while they're building walls and burning flags. Tripp's just laughing and filling his flask. Yeah, the government man says we know what's best, while digging in your pockets with each request. Tripp tips his hat and walks away. Keep your solutions, I'll find my own way. Oh, Tripp has issues, but not like these. He just wants to sip his whiskey in peace, while they're building walls and burning flags. Tripp's just laughing and filling his flask. So when the world starts losing its mind and everyone's angry all the damn time, just grab your guitar, pour a tall glass, and laugh along with old Tripp's wise ass.